Hello, everyone. Welcome to our very first, or at least my very first, Kundiman poetry reading for Kundiman Pacific Northwest chapter called Blossoming in Full. I'm your host, Asela Lee Kemper. And sometimes if anybody see me, this is like weirdly on camera, just reading off a script, that's just me reading off the script. So no worries. I'm still with you all. I'm still with you. So I'm really excited with you all. I am a poet and poetry editor at Variety Fact magazine based in Southern Oregon. I would like to share a little bit about Kundiman before we start. Kundiman is a national non-poet organization dedicated to nurturing generations of writers and readers of Asian American literature. Kundiman creates a space where the Asian American community explores the ever-changing diaspora through art, community, education, and liberation. They offer retreats, workshops, readings, and other resources for the community to explore their stories through literary works. They also have different chapters in the area outside of New York, which is where Kundiman is based, including our very special Pacific Northwest chapter, which we are here now. I am also part of the community of Pacific Northwest, PNW. What is up? But yeah, while Kundiman creates space for Asian American writers, Kundiman also supports Black, Indigenous, and POC writers, and the literary community is open. We're always open for this space. So everyone's open here. That's why we have all these incredible readers here too. But please support Kundiman and visit their website to learn more, as well as follow them on various social media platforms. I will make sure to link all of that in the chat. I'll put that in here. There you go. See, technology. They finally work with me. So Kundiman Pacific Northwest, or PNW, will be releasing their very first literary zine. That's why we have this incredible poetry reading. So the first literary zine showcases literary works by Asian American writers from PNW. And in honor of their first literary zine, we put together this wonderful virtual poetry reading, Blossoming in Full, which was named to nurture and celebrate our roots, culture, and connecting to who we are. Beautiful. And also want to give a credit to Sam, or SX Wong, who helped create that title. So shout out to Sam. I'm not sure if she's here, but shout outs to her. And yeah, let's see. Oh, we're so excited for y'all to join and listen to some incredible poems by tonight by poets from Pacific Northwest, or some poets who came outside of PNW but just want to come and celebrate. And they're all happen to be my good friends. I'm so excited. So please, please, please support all the readers who are reading tonight. And before we start, I would like to cover a few things. This event is recorded. So after recording, I will upload this and Kundiman's YouTube channel so you can all rewatch in the reading in case you missed it. If you don't want to have your face to appear during the recording, please turn off your camera. We also ask you to please mute yourself during the recording so you can listen to everyone and all of the poems. And if you want to express your excitement and encouragement, please write in the chat. Please, 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 please. Blossoming in Full poetry is on Modoc as well as Shasta, Confederate tribes of Celtics Indians, Confederate tribes of Grand Ronde, Kaisus, Mutalpa, I'm so sorry if I butchered it, and Wallowa, Crow Creek, Umpqua, and Talcuma. We like to take this moment to recognize the Indigenous people whose traditional lands where Blossoming in Full is currently held. We also like to acknowledge that what is currently happening in Palestine, we stand in solidarity with Palestine. We ask everyone to please educate yourself on this topic and contact your local representatives to cease fire now. Here, it is free Palestine until it is backwards. We are not free until all of us are free. Please free Palestine. I swear, I beg of you all. And with that, I am so excited to time for our reading. I'm so excited to introduce you to all our first reader, Nashira de la Rosa. Nashira de la Rosa is a Sapphic MB artist sweltering in the South. She has a passion for crafting experiences that explore culture and history and is always exploring some new artistic medium. Nashira is the co-founder of the Adventurers Writing Guild creative community, as well as the co-founder of art collective Poetry Orchard, where she facilitates creative writing workshops inspired by everything from Taylor Swift to climate change. And I'll make sure to link all of that in our chat where you can follow and support Nashira. And until that, Nashira, take it away.
Hi, Asela. Thank you so much for welcoming me into this event. Um, Absolutely, we stand with Palestine. We need free Palestine until it's backwards. In spirit of the event celebrating a zine centering Asian Americans and Pacific Islander poets, I brought two poems that I wrote centering my identity. The first one is about the current crisis of safety of journalists and land defenders in the Philippines becoming targeted by the government. I took the title from a Rappler article, and Rappler is just like a news organization, Filipino news organization. So this is for the 8th straight year, the Philippines was named the deadliest country for land and environmental defenders in the Asian continent. How can we shift the danger to the deserving? Can we create a culture where if one dare speaks of killing trees in the name of concrete, the idea dies before the capitalist can finish his sentence? And how can we bridge every citizen with the farmer and seamstress that equips them? Can we shed the veil between a city and its supply chain? Can we shame the ruling class out of paying low wages? Can we make the adults think of what our youth will become when they grow up? Can we meet each unsafe workplace with disgust? And when will poisoning the earth be deemed perversion? Can we sever the necessity for a relation to a cause before we can care? Can we consider that we are all related and therefore must care? Is poetry enough to grip the ignorant into finding their place in this fight? And also, I just want to say, Palestine to the Philippines, we are not free until everybody is free. As a Filipino, I stand with Palestine. And then this is a poem I wrote centering pride in the leftist activist communities that I am on the internet. The internet is just really great for being able to connect you with like-minded people because oftentimes we don't have that kind of community in real life. So this is a poem that I wrote touching on the fact that this is just kind of like my safe space, the internet, because I don't really have that much people who are like leftists like I am in real life. So this poem is called We're Not Alone. Sky's the limit where folks fly in from all over to roost, flitting about to make spaces safe, following the hell our respective habitats put us through. Birds of a feather flock together out of necessity. Leftism leaves me hypertensive, doesn't pay enough to play teacher. It's like the birds down here are born spineless, nestled in the ignorance that keeps them flightless, cooped up in their echo chamber cages all day, parroting each other, ready to cull any beak brave enough to chirp disagreement. Meanwhile, a bleeding heart from Luzon's tweet carries overseas, brings me into a choir of others like me. In these exchanges, I learn new things, forever waiting in the wings for folks on the ground to catch up. That's it for me. Thank you, Asela.
Thank you so much, Nashira. I am just so in awe of your work, and the sound and the rhythm is just so it's gorgeous. I love that. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for your work. And now, next up, we have the incredible. I'm so excited to introduce you all, Rita Mookerjee. Rita Mookerjee is an assistant professor of interdisciplinary studies at Worcester State University. In 2020, she was a Fulbright Research Fellow in Kingston, Jamaica. She's the author of False Offering, Jackleg 2023. Everyone, please go by. Her poems can be found in Calix, Pumpernickel, New Orleans Review, The Offing, and Poet Lore. She serves as an editor at Split Lip Magazine, Sundress Publications, and Honey Literary. And I will make sure to link all of that in the chat, and including False Offering. Everyone, please go by. And at that, Rita, take it away.
Thank you so much, my sweet, sweet friend Asela. Asela and I, it's funny because we've been knowing each other for like almost half a decade now, but most of it was online. Kind of crazy. And so we saw each other this AWP, and it was just this like explosion of like AAPI joy. And we were like, oh, and it was really special, and that was one of the highlights of my AWP. Something I love about Asela is that even when we if you're like me, you're feeling some deep despair right now, Asela has that candle ready to remind you, like, this is the way. And I'll always be really grateful to her for having that. So I'm dedicating this first poem, and if it appears in republication, it will be dedicated to her from Here's Baby. My first book comes out in 5 days, and I get to hold it in my hands. And I can think of no better setting to share this with you than Kundiman. Congratulations to my siblings in the Pacific Northwest. Keep zining, keep writing, keep fighting. I'm going to open y'all up with this poem. It's called In Diaspora. In my town, white families burst and spread like ripe fruit, ribbons of pulp, trailing seeds behind them while I search in the past for a scrap of skin. Any hints about all these brown people I never met? I leave the grocery store after not finding rose water and star anise and walk home alone. While I search for spices and a niche that can hold my odd body, I call up dead ancestors who haven't the slightest idea who I am. Wrong number, they say. They hang up and it feels like they were never really here to begin with. In truth, I don't know half of their names. Maybe they are as real for me as I was for them. I feel like I could disappear in a mass of people. A smudge of broken color marks the death of my family name. Who am I to the ocean that drowns me? Oh, thank you. Yeah, not the wrong number. And if you're like me, and if you have aunties, uncles, amma, appa, everybody, you know that everybody's always screaming unnecessarily into the phone. Pop in the chat, give me emojis, give me reactions. If you have relatives that are always screaming into the phone, and I'll come downstairs and with love, I'll try to gather my parents like, baby, you don't need to do that anymore, right? That's not how the phone lines work. And they're always like, God, that's who in Hindi, right? Like screaming. Yeah, it used to be like that. Your tita doesn't have inside voice yet. True. Further away, the louder they talk. I like that, Shankar. I appreciate that. This is a poem that I wrote when I was in grad school, and I'm sad that it still has credence, but it's one of my like rev up, go ham poems. So what better for Kundiman, right? So this is a man threatens to shoot me on behalf of infidels for Trump. Infidels for Trump reminds me of the Aryan Brotherhood, but I guess the latter is worse. The paradox is obvious, but this is the problem with people who don't read books. So don't get on about me with class issues and freedom of speech. You know what freedom looks like? The library, where unlike my house, everyone is welcome. He should have taken advantage of that. Here's a tip. When you talk to a brown chick in a bar, make sure you're not speaking her language. I mean, literally speaking her language. Because while you talk about Aryan, Arya is a Sanskrit word. It means exalted, which is the last thing that white people were if we look at technology, advancement, and dental hygiene. The real irony is that it was my people who came down from the Caucasus Mountains. The swastika is a symbol of my goddess, the one who wears a belt made of severed male heads. My people invented numbers and bathing. The characters in your holy scripture look just like me, which I know isn't a problem for the infidel for Trump. And it's that classic redneck confidence that is beautiful, a complete alliance to the most flawed ideals. Deep love for a flag that looks so much like the Union Jack at borders on adorable. So I fold my glasses and say to the meathead decked out in red, I don't know if you know this, but you lost. You lost and you continue to lose. You rep those colors in Florida, a notorious traitor state where men hid in the salt plants, sunk into swamp mud, jumped into the Gulf, and tried to swim to Mexico rather than suffer Robert E. Lee's bullshit. Never mind the couple thousand that said, fuck it, and joined the Union. Don't get me started on Donnie Boy, because those jokes write themselves, and unlike you, I'm no fucking cliche. So read a book, baby, then come through and see me sometime. Big boy, a black cat will walk in the doorway when you drop your PF9 once I go to work on those infidel knees, because you people always have the same two problems: no book learning and a total lack of imagination, which is why you won't expect my Louisville Slugger, the icon of a favorite pastime, and I don't mean baseball, because I'm not America. I'm not Southern. I'm a proud girl and a violent bitch and a loud cunt. And when you come through, don't get ready to give me that good head. I mean, don't get ready to eat this good pussy. You'll never be so blessed. What I mean is, watch your neck, because I got plenty of room on my belt for you. Love you, Asela. Thank you.
I love you so much, Rita. Thank you. I don't know if you saw it. I'm just like, knock them out, Rita. Knock them out. Oh my gosh. Oh, I feel so empowered whenever I hear you read, and just, oh my God, I'm floored. I'm so floored. And we just had 2 readings so far. I love that. Thank you so much, Rita. And up next, I'm just excited to bring out this next reader who I also personally know, Manya Yana Campos. Manya Yana Campos is a Chicana poet, writer, visual artist, community organizer, and mother creature. She grew up traveling between the redwoods of California, the jasmine and shit-infested streets of South India, and the sugarcane fields of Mexico. She has been published in Afrinda magazine, We Moon, and the Jefferson Journal. She is the author of 2 chapbooks, Blue Corn, Mixed Masa, An Occasional Magic Trick, and Radiance, A Look of Defiance. She had just completed a hybrid manuscript titled Legalize My Mother, and is recipient of the 2022 Haynes and Friends Visual Arts Grant. Manya received her MFA from Pacific Northwest College, which I'm attending, and she lives with her blended family in Southern Oregon. And also to add, I know Manya, when we went to the same Southern Oregon University, we were the same university together, and she is amazing. And I will make sure to include her IG handle so you can all follow her. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to Manya.
Thank you so much, Asela, for doing this and organizing this. I'm super excited, need poetry more than ever right now. I'm just so happy to see all these faces. You know, I've been so busy just being a mother and working full time that I've been so called to write something new, and I just haven't been able to get anything on paper. But I just finished an art installation. I had 2 art shows. This project I've been working on called Latina Geniuses Are Everywhere. It's an interview project where I've been interviewing different Latina leaders in this area, and I turn the interview into a poem and a textile to honor the work and really the inner world of each of these women. So I just feel called to share like the series of poems that I did. So they're portrait poems about these different women that have moved and inspired me. The first one is my mother, because she's the main character of most of my work. So I'm going to start there. I timed myself, and I think I go over like a minute if I do all of those, like about 6 minutes. Is that okay, Asela? You think? Is that okay? All right, because they kind of all just go together. So I just want to string them all. So each one is a portrait poem that I did based on an interview of a woman that's in my life. So the first one is called La Rasta Azteca. She is dressed in red ribbons. Her silver locks dance down her hips. She is all incense and cracked face. She is Maria Esther Campos Gaitan. She is old and young, all at the same time. Maria, 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 Maria. She is running away from dirt floors. She is running away from the sound of dying goats, their meat buried deep in the ground, covered with leaves and smoke. She has buried her mother in pig fat and the memories of pulgas, cucarachas, and homemade cheese wrapped in cracked banana leaves, going door to door in squeaky plastic shoes. I am the daughter of a peasant. I am the daughter of a peasant. She praises her father, his humility, his leather huaraches, his limp neck. She neglects her mother, the smell of butter-stained embroidery and sweat-filled rolls, panties hanging out to dry, their cheeks flapping in the warm Mexican breeze. My abuela is my best homegirl. I want to fall in love with my name. I never looked like a Sarah, and I envied my siblings' long, luscious Mexican names. Sarah, I didn't feel like people wanted me. Sarah, it was a reminder of the day I was born, the day my father was drunk, my mother annoyed. Sarah was born from conflict. No wonder I feel like a problem. My abuela, she helped me feel safe in my dark skin with my thick thighs, curly hair, and multiple moles. My abuela is my most sacred homegirl. I've always lived with badass brown women, but my abuela is my most sacred homegirl. I always thought Mexican and Native was different, but she helped me reclaim my indigenous roots. My connection with earth, like my emotions, runs deep. She reminded me that con mis trenzas, I look like India Maria. Yes, I am definitely indigenous. It took me a long time to say this, a lot of time unfucking my brain. Yes, I am definitely indigenous, and I know my ancestors take me as I am. And to be Latina is to be chingona, is to be loving, passionate, angry, sad, confused, and always on the search for a space to belong. Listen, I've been called crazy, but I know my ancestors take me as I am. I keep my altar up 24/7. I don't believe in God, but I believe in the bendiciones my abuela gave me. My father put the hustle in me, taught me about growing plants, treated me like a grown-ass man, made fun of my body. Bitch, I feel manic as fuck, but I was never the problem. Instead, I keep it real, and they sent me away because I see the magic like clear quartz. I see the pain like a desert. I am the God I look for. I am the divine I seek. Oh, baby, I love to cry. Oh, baby, I love to cry. I am a story keeper. I come from a long line of storytellers, fire keepers, and food growers. My grandmother always had her milpa, her chilies, her flowers. She taught me the art of tending to my space. All the women in my family were artists, always making things with their hands. I am the story keeper. I grew up in a circle, lap to lap. I learned the oral traditions of my family. I am exploring my identity as an indigenous mujer. My grandmother was indigenous, but I don't want to take up space. I don't feel like I've had the same experiences of oppression, so I don't feel right claiming it out of respect for the movement. I identify more with Chicana, the movement, the history, a way of life. Latina was given to us, is still rooted in colonization. I just became a moon dancer, and I'm learning so much, learning to be in balance in relationship with the four elements, el fuego sagrado, the air, earth, water. My mother came to this land, planted her seeds, and I rooted here. These hills have seen me grow up, these rivers that I never learned to swim in, this land, it raised me. Okay, I have one last one. LA will always be my first love. I've been the jaguar god for so long, pero yo soy la serpiente. My power is to self-heal. Now it's time to shed the skin because the divine, she lives within me and it's all here. This East LA girl, this green-eyed Chicana, this witch woman con mis hierbas, ni de aquí ni de allá. Pero I'm connecting back through plants. As long as la diosa de marijuana is with me, Maria, 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 I'm good. It's really maternal right now, decolonizing the spiritual, rebirthing, me vale madre. I don't fuck with small talk. I only do vulnerable. I crave depth. I take pleasure into my own hands. The tenderness I crave from my mother, I give to myself. My body is decolonizing. I am apologizing to her, loving her, allowing the erotica back in. Soy santa, soy puta. Yo soy la serpiente, and I will no longer be ashamed. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Oh my goodness, Manya. I'm always so in awe of you and I'm so happy. I don't know if anyone knows this, but she is our local poet in Southern Oregon. And I am so excited just for everyone to witness. I mean, this goes to everyone. I'm just so excited to everyone to witness the power of your poems, Manya. I'm so happy. And this goes the same thing to Rita and Nashira and our two readers up next. But everyone, please give a just another applause to Manya. I'm just so happy. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Up next, who another person I'm so excited to introduce is Kattrina M. Kattrina M is a queer writer and poet from Redding, California. She has appeared in several independent magazines, such as Silk Club, Mujeres Ambiguitas, and Postimo Zine. She also hosts To In Sync, an Asian woman-led podcast with yours truly, Asela Lee Kemper. I will link all of that in all of the links. I can speak, I promise. I will link all the links for y'all to follow, including Kattrina's digital copy of her chapbook, Me. I'll link that in. And also, just another quick little fun fact, Kattrina and I went to the same university as Manya. So it's just a little SOU reunion, hashtag SOU. But take it away, Kattrina.
Thank you, Asela, and for Kundiman for inviting me to read in this wonderful space. I also appreciate the many Southern Oregon University survivors reunion. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Okay, so to be completely honest, I haven't really written much lately as the situation in Palestine has gotten me just really, really down. So I'm just gonna be reading probably like my most recent pieces. So the first one that I have is called The Fangs of Grief, which was inspired by a prompt from Poetry Orchard. I know we have Nashira and Maria in the audience, so shout out to them. Okay, The Fangs of Grief. I first saw them the night after she died. Long pointed molars like vampires, and I tried everything in my power to cover them. I went to classes and gave my classmates a brief update on what had happened. I accepted food and snacks from concerned friends and teachers. I said I was okay. I said I was okay. I said I was okay, even when I was not okay. And when the fangs grew longer like Pinocchio's nose at night, I cried over those monstrous teeth. And I cry for my mother. When I was done, I swore they were smaller. I realized the fangs of grief weren't like baby or wisdom teeth. They will always stay with you. Okay, I promise it's going to be a lot less depressing from here on out. But thank you. Let's see. The other two pieces that I ended up choosing were um kind of like more from like a neurodivergent perspective. I've kind of been on this journey of, I don't want to say like self-discovery, but like I've basically been in denial for like years about me being autistic, and now I've kind of like come to terms with it. So these are a couple poems about that. So this one is called Small Joys. I truly couldn't care less how much I spend on what you deem as useless. My bright yellow D&D dice made of resin, paint, and glitter with honeybees frozen inside make me buzz with joy. I can't help that stickers of Ethel Kane and Electra Evangelista quotes give me serotonin and make me feel like I'm creating collages with my words and Pokemon pictures. Yes, they might seem meaningless, but they help keep me going. Okay. And then I think the last one I have for tonight is called I'm sorry I need my fancy little drink to survive. Another little neurodivergent poem here. Rag on me all you want for spending so much on something so temporary, but it's how I can relax after a hard day, read every day. Caramel iciness through a green straw and drizzle on my tongue cools me during the unforgiving Reading summers. Boba is for when I had too much coffee, and it brings me closer to an Asian childhood I never had. These little drinks tell me you did well today. Now you can finally rest. All right, that's it for me, y'all. Thank you so much for inviting me once again. And y'all are so talented. I just gotta throw that out there. Can't wait to hear what Armin has in store for us.
Thank you so much, Kattrina. That was amazing. I loved your poems, and just watching you grow as a poet is amazing. I see this as one of your best friends. Just it's amazing. And also, if you want to hear more of our banter and literary stuff, you can follow our podcast. It's on SoundCloud, so it's fun. It's a good old time. But we're not here to promote to and sing as much as I want to, but I'm here to introduce our last reader. I know it's the last one and happening so fast, but I'm excited to bring out this next writer, this next poet, Armin Tolentino. Tolentino is the author of the collection We Meant to Bring It Home Alive, Alternating Current Press, from Alternating Current Press, and served as a poet laureate for Clark County from 2021 to 2024. He earned an MFA at Rutgers University, New York, and his writing has appeared in journals including Rigorous, Gobshit Quarterly, Portland Magazine, and Proton Poetry. He is a phenomenal clapper, a passable ukulele player, same, and a bubbling but enthusiastic fisherman. If you want to learn more about him, make sure you go to his website, which I will make sure to link it all. And with that out of the way, I'm so excited to bring out Armin. Take it away.
Ooh, oh, thank you so much, Asela, for having me, and Kundiman for putting this together. Readers, you all were incredible. My gosh, and I'm just I think I was hearing something similar from many of you, this sort of idea that times can just be crushing, right? Every day can feel so crushing. And art making is not frivolous. Art making is essential to the act of resistance. And while it's not the only solution, it's a critical part of the solution. Art is necessary for any change we envision, because change requires imagination. And that's what you all are doing. And just honored to spend this time with you all in community. So I'll read you all a couple of poems. And as Asela said, I try fishing and I'm not great at it. And I'm more interested in sort of the metaphors of fishing than anything else at this point, and thinking about who belongs or who doesn't belong in a fishing area, and what fish are considered trash and who get to deem what's trash or not. So anyway, here's a poem about fishing, ostensibly. Improved clinch knot. To undo this knot, you need a knife. That is, it's irreversible. Rehearse it in real weather, remorseless February, as you fuddle the loops 7, 13, whatever numerology quiets your doubt in the weakest point of the rig. That is, the number does and does not matter. There is a right and a wrong way to do this, and in between, a gray sea of luck. As you pull the ends towards finality, at some point, unless you're willing to cut it all off and start over, you have no choice but to keep on tightening to the knot's conclusion. No matter if the loops are bunched wrongly, clumsy disorder, you must continue. Like years ago, when Mama fed me milkfish and a pin bone thorned itself in the narthex of my throat. Maybe close enough for her to eel her finger in and scoop it out. But instead, she realized in the sudden winter of her terror, we were too far gone and could only move forward. So instead, shoved fingerfuls of rice in my mouth, an avalanche of sticky grains catching the bone until, interminable minutes later, it finished the path into my stomach's midnight. You'll know that feeling too, when you doubt your knot and cast anyway into the evening and wait to see if your luck holds fast. And a last poem here. I'm not fluent in Tagalog, and it's a shame because it would have been very easy for me to be fluent in Tagalog, one of the languages of the Philippines, because my parents spoke it all the time. They didn't want me to speak it because they were worried about my having an accent. So I don't know if I'm using this word correctly, but the title of this poem is Pamana. Pamana. I need to wash my worries. I have to fold my worries. I need to sort and store my worries where I can have them at the ready, where I can find, when I need it most, the worry that matches the moment. I have to mend the worries I've had so long they've worn through to gauze. I patch worries with old worries. I refuse to throw any away. Most, I don't even know how I got. Most, I am certain, draped my mother's shoulders first. My cherished ones were sewn by the fingers of my ancestors who had nothing else to leave their children for inheritance. I need to care for my worries. I'm filled with peace when I wrap my arms around a freshly cleaned heap of my worries and string them on a length of morning to dry. one glittering moment that I am naked of worries. I love to see them breathe in the sun. Thank you.
My goodness, that is an amazing way to close the show, Armin. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was incredible. Oh my goodness. And I cannot believe we're already at the end of the event. Thank you all to the incredible, my readers. Thank you so much. That is our reading. And I just want to say, I just want to thank all of my friends and who have read today. Nashira, Rita, Manya, Kattrina, Armin, you all did such an amazing job. I also want to thank SX Wong for helping creating the poster and the title of this event. If you're there, I'm sure you'll be there watching on the YouTube. I also want to thank Jordan Alam and Shakar Narayan, who is here right now, Shakar at least. I just want to thank them because they are leading the literary zine to celebrate the Asian American Writers PNW, and which will be coming out mid-November, so sometime next month or so. But not next month, I lied. Next week, or at least sometime this month. So keep your eyes for that announcement when that scene is out. And I want to thank everyone who was able to join for tonight's reading. You all made this event so amazing, and I'm just so in awe of just everything and every one of you. And please keep your eyes out for Kundiman PNW's first literary zine, which will be released sometime this month, as mentioned. And please support Kundiman and all the writers here who have read. I will make sure to link Kundiman once more, just so you all can find the link here. Technology, yes. And I'm just so excited. And thank you all for this beautiful night. And please have a good night, stay safe, and see you next time.